Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 10 hardest bosses in Sonic games. Sonic the Hedgehog features a blend of tough levels and easy bosses in most of the games, but in the times where bosses are just as hard as the levels, if not harder, well, these were the most grueling. Which of these bosses made you suffer the most? Vent your frustration with us in the comments below.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Egg Emperor, Sonic Heroes.
I'll show you what real evil is! This is it, guys! Don't hold anything back!
Now, we don't expect every Eggman boss fight to be a breeze necessarily. On the contrary, Eggman has had some devious devices to give us trouble, as you'll see later in this list. But the Egg Emperor is one of his more irritating machines. The controls don't respond quick enough to let you react and dodge most of his attacks, and the enemies and turrets can make the fight really annoying. Yes, you can spam the fight by just attacking with a level 2 flight character, and honestly, that method doesn't make the fight any better.
Defeated? Impossible! No!
Big Arm, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Compared to Eggman's other machines, Big Arm is perhaps the most awkwardly designed. Granted, the first two phases of this final fight shouldn't be much trouble, as they are easy to cheese. But once Big Arm comes out, timing is everything. Eggman is now protected by a pod with 2 enormous arms and massive spikes decked out on top. Basically, you have a really small window to make your shots, and if you touch even a single pixel of the spikes, say goodbye to most of your rings. And yet, Big Arm isn't even the hardest of Eggman's arsenal. We're only getting started on this list, folks. Perfect Chaos, Sonic Adventure. We can understand why the final battle against Chaos in its ultimate form would make for a difficult boss fight. We just weren't anticipating it to be hard in this way. To defeat Perfect Chaos, you need to reach the monster before your ring count is depleted, and you need to maintain constant speed. Should you reach Chaos at a low speed, you will not be able to damage it and you will have to endure another phase of the fight. With Chaos harassing you with so many projectiles, this fight is way more difficult than it should have been. At least the music in the background's jamming. Imperator Ix, Sonic Chronicles, the Dark Brotherhood. Weren't expecting to see the weird BioWare RPG on here, were ya? Well, that's the thing with Sonic Chronicles, it just pops up when you least expect it. And yes, it does boast some incredibly tough boss fights. Imperator Ix, the main villain, serves as a boss character roughly midway into the game and at the very end. Both times he can be troubling. His attacks are powerful, and the QTEs required to dodge or even resist damage can be way overwhelming. That's right. Remember, this is an RPG on the DS that requires more physical reaction than just tapping a button. You need to actually move your fingers and hand and tap the screen in order to properly execute attacks and resist enemy attacks. Needless to say, you better nail down your reaction times before reaching these fights. Metal Sonic, Sonic the Fighters. Fighting Metal Sonic in a 2D platformer is surprisingly not at all tough. But what about in a 3D fighting game structure? Well, that's when he turns into a giant freaking cheater. Metal Sonic can shoot an unblockable laser beam from his chest, and his barriers are harder to break than most characters. Oh, but you know, he can break your barriers without any trouble at all. Yeah, that's totally fair. On top of that, just 2 throws can put you in a critical state. And yes, he will spam that same throw. It's really annoying. He's not as bad as many other fighting game bosses tend to be, but even for a Sonic spinoff, this, bruh, come on now. Metal Madness, Sonic Heroes. Okay, we normally try to save 1 per game or 1 per franchise, but Sonic Heroes is a real exception here. We have a love for Sonic Heroes as much as some of you do, we can admit that, but, you know, this one's just a real hassle. And with this one, the AI can kill off one of your teammates because, you know, they got just a little too far away, or they just magically fell through the floor and they didn't make a jump like you and the other guy did. It's even more aggravating when a particular boss fight like Metal Madness requires all 3 team members in order to progress. There are so many instances though, where your teammates, they can fall out of the level or just get hit too many times and die. Given that Metal Madness requires you to hit it with speed, flight, and power, it's enough to call this one of the hardest Sonic bosses, man. Like, this one was just aggravating. I hated it.
Sonic, we're counting on you.
Sir Lancelot, Sonic and the Black Knight.
It's over.
Sonic and the Black Knight is already a cumbersome game to play with its awkward controls and level design. However, the most frustrating battle was when we had to fight Sir Lancelot, a second time. The first fight wasn't a huge deal since he utilized simple attacks, you know? It wasn't that big of a problem, but this time he's going full Lancelot and throwing chaos spears and chaos blasts and chaos explosions and chaos unleashed and anything else that can have chaos thrown in front of it. It's ridiculous. Ultimately, you're forced to just continuously block his attacks and spam your soul gauge abilities because anything else is just going to make this more infuriating than it needed to be.
I was the ultimate knight.
The Bio Lizard, Sonic Adventure 2. This stupid reptile is the bane of any Sonic fan's existence. What you have here is essentially a water stage. As Shadow, you're surrounded by water that is textured to look like sand, but one wrong step will send you plummeting to your doom. And in the center is the dreadful Bio Lizard, a creature that will constantly change its direction of attack, use projectiles to trip you up and cause you to fall in the sand. Oh, and should the Bio Lizard bite you, you will get launched to the other side of the stage. Basically, instant death. Mecha Sonic and Death Egg Robot, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Death Egg Zone is a migraine for fans of Sonic 2, and it's not even because it's a back-to-back couple of boss fights. Admittedly, Metal Sonic doesn't do a lot to make us stumble, and the Egg Robot is a tough but fair fight when considering its simple attack patterns. But no, What makes these two truly hard is the fact that this is it. This is the stage. You start with these boss fights and there are absolutely no rings anywhere to save you. You are forced to do both fights without getting hit once. Not one time. It demands perfection. You need to be perfect. Sega, not everyone is a god at video games, okay? Hang on a sec, this is only 9? Then what's the last boss? The game, Sonic 06.
I'm Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog!
Not that irritating hedgehog again! Attack!
Oh. Oh no. You know, folks will say that Silver the Hedgehog is the de facto hardest boss of Sonic 06, but we beg to differ. You're thinking a little too small there, alright? Gotta broaden your horizons a bit. Simply playing Sonic 06 is a boss fight itself. Have you tried playing this game? Huh? Have you tried playing it for more than 10-15 minutes? It's a flippin' mess. It's a disaster. The most basic actions could potentially get you killed. Every jump, spin, dash, enemy, ally, sound effect, anything can do a significant amount of damage to your mentality. It's why I am the way I am. And it's evident when trying to get past the first auto run stage. It's a freaking nightmare, man. It doesn't matter what strategy you have, what button press you make. The game does everything in its power to make you miserable and force you to replay large chunks of it. I played for 20 minutes. I died on the first auto run stage and it sent me all the way back to the very beginning of the freaking game. There is no easy way out. There is no cheese method. There is nothing. You have to play it legitimately. It's no use.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.